Unstoppable Squad. Today we have another NXT show under yellow lights. I'm Unstoppable Denominator, bringing you guys NXT. Look at this NXT shirt, why not? So WWE NXT has began to set a new path to the future and featured its top talent fighting for a new opportunity on the June 6th edition. The women of NXT, including Cora Jade, Roxana Perez, and Lyra Valkyrie, met in a #1 contender battle royal for a chance to face Tiffany Stratton for the NXT Women's Championship. Mustafa Ali was set to wrestle in an NXT ring for the first time since 2017 when he faced the dangerous Joe Gacy, while the rest of Schism were involved in a 6-person tag to settle their rivalry with Diamond Mine. Eddie Thorpe looked to finally shut up Damon Kemp in a rematch, and Blair Davenport returned to action against Danny Palmer. Dragunov spoke for the first time since his brutal battle with Dijak, while Carmelo Hayes was certain to respond to Baron Corbin's attack after last week's main event. This was a big show for NXT as it continued to its impressive rebuild of a young roster. Dragunov stands up to Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin marched to the ring and decried the way the NXT roster had grown lazy and arrogant. Dragunov interrupted the challenge. Challenge him to determine the true #1 contender to the NXT Championship. This was a fine opening for the night, playing up the chaos that came from Corbin's return to NXT last week. The Lone Wolf makes sense as an NXT veteran looking back on the good old days without the crowd supporting him. You know, to be honest with you, I hope to see the Lone Wolf back. That was a great character for Baron Corbin. With Happy Corbin and the other gimmick, King Corbin, it was just not even great for him. It was useless for him. The Lone Wolf was great for him. I don't know why they got rid of that gimmick for him. They should have just stuck with it. Okay, Dragunov should be looking for a shot at the NXT title, and he presents a unique challenger for Corbin. It was surprising to not see Carmelo Hayes right off the bat, but the Gold brand has time to keep building the feud. Hopefully Melo versus Cesar is the long-term goal with Corbin can be an early credible speed bump for that match. Grade B-. Dragunov showed a large black bruise on the right side of his body from Battleground. After the face-off, Trick Williams clotheslined Corbin out of the ring. The Cesar headed to the back where he was ambushed by Bron Breakker. Duke Hudson found Thea Hale after a tough training session with Charlie Dempsey and Drew Gulak ahead of the Battle Royal. Diamond Mine versus Schism. I don't know how to pronounce it. Sorry if I'm saying it wrong. Julius and Brutus Creed showed their athleticism against Rip Follower and Jagger Reed. I'm getting back into NXT. I'm getting back into watching the previews or the reviews on YouTube and over on TikTok as much as I can before, I do these, but I didn't get the chance to watch NXT today because I was so busy at work and I was so busy before I even started the show. So, but Rip follower Ian Jagger Reed but stepped aside for Ivy Nile in the end. Nile and Ava locked in the Dragon Sleeper, but Reed saved her. Ava headbutted her rival with a metal mask to steal the win. The unreal athleticism of the Creeds is unmatched. Even by the main roster, when they and Nile arrive on Raw or SmackDown, they will turn heads with a larger audience. This was clearly about highlighting Nile, who ran the wave of momentum that comes from the Creeds and the died clashing. It is just a shame that Ava could not keep up with the field. This was the most fans have seen Ava perform to date, but she looked sluggish and awkward. Her strikes got nowhere close to landing, and she carried none of the imposing presence she has built as a manager. Hopefully NXT is not too committed to pushing Ava soon. Nile is far more ready and could see a revenge win against her rival soon. Result: Sism defeats Diamond Mine by pinfall. Grade B. In a repeat showcase of the Creed brothers' strength, Julius deadlifted Reed from a sitting position into a delayed vertical suplex position. He traded Reed with Brutus and then took him back before hitting the suplex. In an impressive sequence, Brutus planted the follower and hit him with a standing moonsault. He suplexed Julius onto him before allowing Nile to suplex him onto their rival. Finally, Julius helped Nile hit a standing senton bomb. Channing Stacks Lorenzo met Tony D'Angelo in jail and promised to make Gallus pay. Blair Davenport versus Danny Palmer. Danny Palmer got punched in the face early and often in this one-sided fight. Blair Davenport ripped her off the top rope by her hair before finishing it up with a Falcon Arrow. NXT is taking it slow with Palmer, much like Sol Ruka at the beginning of her run. So it was not surprising to see her lose so soon. Basically, though, she got in a no offense throughout. The point was to sell Davenport as a big deal. It mostly worked, but her offense was not quite as crisp as a dangerous striker's should be. She will need to iron that out with more capable rivals. Davenport defeats Palmer by pinfall. C is your grade. NXT showed a video package highlighted Davenport's recent actions. The creative team used a smoke machine for Davenport's entrance. Okay, who cares? And the fumes were still in the air during the match. Who cares? Mr. Stone struggled to convince Von Wagner to speak to a therapist, but he finally agreed when his head was turned by one particular expert. Baron Corbin versus Trick Williams. Because of the post-segment attack from Bron Breakker on Dragunov, Trick Williams was given the first shot at Baron Corbin. Trick pushed the Lone Wolf hard, but a knee injury during the match slowed him. Corbin won with end of days. This was a fine but rather bland battle of strikers. Even with an invested crowd, there was no spark to the matchup. The Lone Wolf beat up NXT opponent until Trick decided to sell his injury at the last moment. While this is the kind of match Corbin has needed, while continuing to lose repeatedly on SmackDown, these two did not have the chemistry to make this a breakout moment for Trick. It merely served to delay more exciting pairings for the Lone Wolf against Dragunov and Carmelo Hayes. Your results: Corbin defeats Trick by pinfall. Grade D+. NXT highlighted a tweet from Melo, who advised that he was healing up from last week and would make Corbin pay soon. Booker T agreed with the Lone Wolf that the whole industry has grown too soft. Corbin targeted the knee of Trick, setting his leg hard into the announce table and steel steps. After the win, Corbin had told Dragunov he would gladly fight him next week. Mustafa Ali versus Joe Gacy. Joe Gacy did some damage to Mustafa Ali early, but after a surprising sunset flip powerbomb, Ali picked up a fast win off a 450 splash. Sism tried to sneak attack the free agent, but Wesley and Tyler Bate made the save and cleared the ring, while Baron Corbin took over 10 minutes to defeat Trick Williams. It took Ali maybe three to down Gacy. It was a genuine squash match in which the Sism supposed leader looked out of his death. This was an impactful way to immediately sell that Ali is not just a challenger, but also a genuine threat to Lee's title reign. However, it came at the expense of Gacy's remaining credibility. If Sism is going to move forward, Gacy needs to evolve. It might be best to just move on from the whole crew and rebrand around Ava. I'm guessing Ava is pretty much The Rock's daughter, I'm guessing. That's what I'm guessing. You guys probably will let me know. Ali defeats Gacy by pinfall. Grade C. Ali promised he would finally win gold in NXT. The NXT North American champion was ready to hand the free agent a title opportunity, but Ali wanted to earn it. Booker T called Gacy the leader of Sism, but it has looked more like Ava is the true leader with each week. Losses like this do not help. Carrying the momentum from Night of Champions and a more welcoming NXT crowd, Ali felt like a genuine big star in the environment. Even the giddy way Lee acted around him sold a star power Ali has not had recently. Backstage, an angry Gacy said he needed to re-elevate what was costing him wins. Ali convinced Bate and Lee that they needed to fight one-on-one soon. On the latest hard-hitting home truths, Dragon Lee joined Nathan Faraz as their senior international correspondent and made fun of Nomar Dar. Fraser challenged the Scottish Supernova to a Heritage Cup match. Later, Dar seemed to accept the challenge with a complete confidence. Eddie Thorpe versus Damon Kemp. Damon Kemp was more fell to Eddie Thorpe, but it came with some controversy this time. Thorpe hit a bridging German suplex, and the referee missed Kemp's foot on the second rope. Round 2 did not get nearly enough time to deliver. These two can hit harder and deliver bigger moves, but the story was half-baked in this 4-minute exhibition. Given the ending, hopefully the final match will have a more complete spotlight. Thorpe especially has yet to show the full scope of his offense against top competition. Thorpe defeats Kemp by pinfall, grade C-. Kemp dominated this match from the outset, including hitting an empathetic rolling fireman carry and backbreaker. After realizing too many teams were closer than them in NXT, Idris Enoff and Malik Blade agreed to fight each other to find chemistry next week. Dabakata versus Scripps. A series of distractions from Axum saved Scripps from a mugging at the hands of Dabakata. He caught Kata with a return somersault back elbow before stacking up the big man for a surprise 3 count. This was tragically messy misfire. Kato and Scripps struggled to connect in the ring, and Axum's interference made him look petty. The wrong man won, and then immediately lost any sense of momentum from it. Axum and Scripps could be a fun tag team together, but Reggie lacks much in terms of credibility on his own. He was not the right man to defeat a dominant giant this early in his NXT return. Kato will recover and Scripps will have better performances, but it's just a shame that this thrown together contest made both look worse for the moment. Scripps defeats Kato by pinfall, grade F. Gigi Dolan and Kiana James argue backstage. Booker T continued his role on commentary by awkwardly telling Vic Joseph that he should call Scripps Reggie because they weren't friends. Why should I call Scripps? Why can't we call Reggie? Really? That's what we know him from, is Reggie. Why can't we call Reggie Scripps Reggie? Scripps can run right into a big boot that left him dazed. It got worse as Kato threw him through the ropes outside and then chopped him into the table. Axum arrived to stop Kato from power slamming Scripps onto the steel steps. After his loss, Kato made Axum and Reggie pay, laying them out. NXT Women's Championship #1 contender Battle Royal. As favorites in the Battle Royal continued to fall, it looked like Dana Brooke might take might take it against Cora Jade, but Thea Hale appeared and eliminated both to win the biggest match of her career. As a battle royals go, this was solid. It lacked strong moments, but it did use the cast of interesting characters in the women's division. NXT could have chosen an easy option with Lyra Valkyrie, GD Dolan, or Cora Jade to win, but instead, the most unlikely victor emerged. Hale has not won big matches lately, but she has been constantly improving. She will face the biggest challenge of her career in an NXT Women's Championship against Tiffany Stratton. Two of the brand's most promising young stars will collide soon, and the crowd will be genuinely invested in a shocking upset. It won't happen, but this is a great way to see how far Hale can go as a competitor. Charlie Dempsey and Drew Gulak were the surprising catalysts to give her just the extra bit legitimacy that could make her a new top name in the division. Result: Hale won the Battle Royal by last eliminating Jade and Brooke to become the new #1 contender to the NXT Women's Championship, Grade B. Early in the night, Brooke revealed that she was joining the Battle Royal. She is not a free agent, unlike Mustafa Ali and Baron Corbin, so this did not make any sense. In an interview, Tiffany Stratton welcomed all challengers and put over Valkyrie as the biggest threat, respecting her game after their match at Battleground. And a welcoming crowd gave Brooke almost no reaction. Well, she doesn't. She sucks. She's just like Natalya. Even when she got the final 3, they were behind her. Why? She sucks. I'm sorry to say. Aura Mensah saved Jakara Jackson from elimination. Later, Valentina Feroz and Ulyssa Leon took out both Jackson and Lash Legend. The heels eliminated them right afterward. Despite being out of the match, Blair Davenport arrived to watch from ringside. Roxana Perez rolled out to attack her. Tatum Paxley eliminated herself to help Davenport lay out the prodigy, setting her up to get eliminated. JC Jane tried to eliminate Valkyrie, but got sent to the floor with a head scissors takedown by the Valkyrie. Jade then kicked Valkyrie off the ropes for an elimination. The ring was completely filled with Chase U students at the end to celebrate Hale. To end the night, Bron Breakers made a shocking challenge to Seth Rollins to defend his WWE World Heavyweight Championship on NXT. Overall show. Last week, NXT built upon momentum from Battleground to deliver one of its best editions of the year. But Tuesday's show did not keep that momentum moving forward. The matches were short when they needed to be longer, except Baron Corbin versus Trick Williams, which could have been much shorter. Too much of the focus was on the main roster stars over the foundation. Well, I'm sorry, but the main roster stars have to move down because they're free agency, and not just that, they probably need a new fresh start. Especially Baron Corbin. Mustafa Ali, I don't know why he's down there. You don't need a new fresh start. Baron Corbin does more than Mustafa Ali, to be honest with you. The real highlights of the night were Thea Hale and Ivy Nile both got to show what they can do with a growing spotlight. Hopefully both can carry that forward to the future. The women's division needs young stars to set up while allowing the likes of Roxana Perez and Cora Jade to move on, since they are beyond this roster at this point. The card promised for next week has serious potential, especially if Seth Rollins versus Bron Breakker is the main event. That should make up for this forgettable night of action. Overall grades C-. I agree. It seemed like it was a horrible show. It seemed like it was sloppy, and it sounded like it was just a boring show, to be honest with you. That's my opinion on tonight's show. I'm sorry to say, but it seemed, when I was reading it, it sounded boring. I didn't hear no exciting moves, no nothing. A good thing I didn't watch it then. I probably like this match was boring. You know, nothing's too exciting much anymore in wrestling. They have to have exciting matches, just like Kevin Owens versus Gunther. That match was way impressive and exciting to watch. We can't have more matches like that, then there's something wrong here. But anyways, Unstoppable Squad, thank you guys for watching. I'll be back with AEW tomorrow morning, hopefully with my buddy Peter over the phone. Hopefully. Cross our fingers. I sent a message before I started this show, and he is active, but he has not seen it yet. I'll let you know by tomorrow morning. I'm Unstoppable Denominator, and I'm out.
Hey everybody, it's your boy Skiz here. And if you don't subscribe to Bron and the Unstoppable Denominator, then you are a toothy bumfuck, pussy ass bitch motherfucker.